Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amanda. I am a 35-year-old mom. I've got a 2-year-old and an almost 4-year-old, and I work a full-time job, like a normal 9-to-5 job. It's a work from home job. I have been with my company for almost 9 years. It'll be 9 years in August. And I wanted to do a Q&A. I have been getting a lot of questions and comments on my YouTube videos, a lot of them surrounding, how to manage being a working mom and also doing things for yourself. How do I get up so early in the morning? What workouts do I do? Do I do a workout program? How do I manage everything from being a working mom and incorporating, household tasks into my days and just keeping everything kind of like organized and on schedule. So I want to answer all of your questions. I asked you guys on YouTube to submit your questions. I also asked on Instagram, so let's just dive right in. So this is probably my top question that I get asked, and it's when it comes to cleaning the house throughout the workday, is there a list or a schedule that I follow? So the answer is no. I don't have a set schedule of the things that I do around the house that I incorporate into my workday. A lot of it depends on how busy I am in the day. So what you guys see in my videos is reflective of what my normal days look like, but I'm not showing you every single work day in a week. So there are days where I literally will sit at my computer and I barely get up. Like I have a day that is completely full of meetings, and in between I have to get work done. There are days that I have like 4 or 5 meetings a day, and I literally like get up to pee and then come back, or get up and fill up my water and then come back, and I have to get on meetings. And then in between meetings, I have to answer emails and make sure that my work is getting done. Other days, I am strictly just like sitting at my desk if it's not a meeting heavy day and just banging out all of my work. So on the days, and some days are lighter, some days I don't have many meetings and I have the time in my schedule to get things around the house done. And I feel like the way that work has evolved, especially working from home, the hours in the schedule are a lot more flexible. At least in my case, I've been at my company for a very long time. I know how to do my job. I've been working for the same boss for a very long time. I always get my work done, and I would never jeopardize my work for household tasks. So when I do stuff around the house, sometimes, a lot of the time, it's just because I need to step away from my computer. I think it's very unrealistic and unhealthy to literally be glued to your computer screen for 8 hours a day. I mean, if you're not, even when I was going into the office, I worked in an office for, 10, 11 years, maybe even longer, before I moved out to Texas and became a remote worker. And I was never, even in the office, sitting at my desk 8 hours a day looking at a screen. I was walking over to my colleagues, having water cooler chat. I would go and take my full lunch break. I would go shopping. I was in New York City, so I would go like on my lunch break and shop. I would take walks in the morning, like short walks in the afternoon. And that's just like, you have to do that. This is my personal opinion. I have to do that, and I think a lot of other people have to do that in order to stay sane. What I like to do is, when I need to take a break from my computer and I've been working for like an hour straight, or an hour and a half, even 2 hours, I need to take a break. So in that time, instead of just like sitting around, I will throw in a load of laundry, I will fold laundry, I will load the dishwasher, I will unload the dishwasher, I will quickly like tidy up the house, do a quick vacuum, or tidy up the bathroom, do a quick like sweep to the bathroom, change my sheets, change the kids' sheets, like things around the house. So I don't have a set schedule of when I do that. It's more like if I need to get away from my laptop and or I've been on back-to-back calls and I need just a break, then I will do that. And I find that I have to do that because when my kids are home, I want to spend all my time with them. So I don't want to be, doing household tasks that I could do easily in 15 or 10 minutes throughout my workday. I don't want to be doing them when my kids get home, or on the weekends for that matter. I don't clean on the weekends, and occasionally, if I need to clean, I will do it during the kids' naps on the week. And another thing that I do, instead of taking a lunch hour on some of my days during the workday, some days of the week, I will mop my floors, I will vacuum my floors, I'll do something that takes, you know, about an hour's worth of time, that is a household task instead of eating lunch one of those days. And I only mop and do a full, you know, vacuum and mop one day a week. So it's not like every single day during lunch I am cleaning my house. I'm not. I do take time. I do take my lunch hour. Sometimes I just need a break. I sit and I have my little brunch, my wrap, and I sit and I watch some YouTube videos, or I'll just take a breather and sit on the couch. But basically, no, I don't have a set schedule. It's basically when I have any free time in my day or I need to step away from my computer, that's when I do the household tasks. I do not make a schedule for myself. I don't have like Mondays are for whatever. So, next question. How do you start getting up so early to start your day? What are some tips to getting started on the right foot by getting up early? Okay, so to answer this question, I never used to be a morning person, and it was very, very difficult for me to get up early in the morning. And if you ask my husband, that was one of the biggest pet peeves he had about me, was my sleep habits. I complained that I was always tired. I would go to bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, but like I could not get up in the morning. And when he was working from home, like he would get up more with the kids in the morning than I would, but then he started going into the office more. And I found that when I was getting up in the morning with the kids, you know, Chase would just come down and wake me up. And it, you know, when you're woken up by your child, like it's a hectic experience sometimes. It's not like a, you know, leisurely get up and whatever. It's, mommy, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Like, I need this, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I want you to put on Peppa Pig, like I need a toy. So it's not leisurely. And so I would wake up to, you know, my kids waking me up. I wasn't waking up on my own, and it would just spiral downhill. I would be in a bad mood. I would be overtired. I think I was sleeping too many hours, to be honest. And I was being short with the kids. Like, I wasn't motivated. I felt bad about myself because, you know, I felt like I was a bad mom because my kids were waking me up instead of me getting up on my own. Anyway, I needed to change, and my husband was going back into the office, so it was just gonna be me. So I was like, I need to do something. So I bought this book, Atomic Habits. I would highly, highly recommend you read it. It was very good. Tiny changes, remarkable results, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. So I was so hell-bent on changing my bad sleeping habits and my bad waking up habits. I read this book, I was motivated, and I just challenged myself, and I made a video of this to hold myself accountable to wake up at 4:30 in the morning for 5 days in a row. And I did it. And honestly, it sounds really crazy and it's really, really hard, but it is so worth it. And honestly, once you get used to your new routine, so basically I flip-flop when I had quality time for myself. So instead of sitting on the couch at night and spending a couple hours in front of the TV or reading or whatever, I started going to bed early. So now I go to bed, I get in bed at like 9 o'clock, and at that point I read or I just listen to soothing music, something that will kind of keep me away from the screen and allow myself to kind of wind down from the day. And I'm sleeping by like 9:30 or 9:45. So I need to get about 7 hours of sleep every night. So then if I go to bed around like sleeping by 9:30, 4:30 a.m., there's your 7 hours. So it did take a long time. I started doing this, I think, in like October, and now it is March, the end of March, and the change has just been remarkable. And if you want to change your sleep habits and get up early, you 100% can do it. Coming from me, who you could not drag out of bed, I was sometimes sleeping in until like 7:45 if my husband was home and, you know, helping out with kids in the morning, I would. and it was hard to correct, but I feel like I am a changed person because I'm getting up early. I don't know, it's just empowering. You have time to yourself. I was able to then get my workouts in and continuously work out. I work out 4 times a week now, not all days in the morning, most of them, usually like 3, and then on the weekend, usually I'll work out during the kids' nap. But that's how you do it. You just have to have a why. You have to have a reason to get up. And my reason was because I want to start the day on a positive note. I want to work out and do something for myself. I want to sit in peace and quiet on the couch and sip my cold brew and read a book. You know, like, this is time that I cherish for myself, and I just love it. And if you have a why, and if you want to make a positive change, like, I'm a firm believer that you can do it. You will do it. Okay, next question. I get a lot of questions about what my job is and what I do. I think that was another question on Instagram and a lot in the comments. I am a marketing manager, specifically a product marketing manager, and I work for an engineering professional society. I work a lot on student and early career programs, so I do a lot of digital and in-person events for engineering students who are in college and for early career engineers that are kind of just getting into the workforce or have up to 10 years of experience. I do a lot of like normal marketing stuff. I create copy for email blasts. I create copy for social media. I work with a digital agency that runs our paid digital campaigns. There's a lot of like design elements that go into it. So I work with our design team. I work with our website team. There's a marketing operations team that I work with. There's a lot that I do. So my days are always busy and every day is different, which is nice. So that's what I do. I've always worked in marketing. Before I was at this company, I did marketing for corporate and for-profit events. So I am no stranger to the industry. What do you all do for dinner on weeknights? Oh boy. So I've made a few videos on this, and I am the first to admit that I am not a cook. I don't enjoy cooking. I don't cook that much, to be honest. And my kids and me and Pete eat differently. And sometimes me and Pete, actually, unless Pete is making a meal for both of us that we agree on, me and Pete eat different meals. So my kids are incredibly picky. It is so hard for me to get vegetables into their diet. I will put them on the plate and they won't eat them. Chase is starting to eat a little bit more, like he likes cucumbers and carrots. But Quinn kind of doesn't touch anything. Broccoli, forget about it. I try to put broccoli, you know, hide it in things. It just doesn't work. So most nights for dinner for the kids are very simple. We do, you know, chicken nuggets. We do mac and cheese. I do like pasta with sauce and meatballs. I try to do like a quesadilla. I love to make like refried bean and cheese quesadilla. I like to do breakfast for dinner. So like they like eggs, so I'll make them eggs with like sausage patty. They like turkey and they like ham, so I'll make like a turkey and cheese roll up or a ham and cheese roll up. Very simple things. My kids are really picky eaters, and I honestly just don't have the time to invest in creating elaborate dinners for them. Or giving them the dinner that me and Pete eat, because they won't eat it. So like, and I've learned the lesson the hard way. Oh, they like chicken parm too, and like lasagna. They like that stuff too. But every time I go out on a limb and I try to make something that I think that they'll like, they don't eat it. So at this point, you know, you pick your battles. And I know that they should be eating more healthy, but I just, whatever. It is what it is. I'm being honest with you guys. And then for dinner for me and Pete, Pete likes to eat a lot of salmon, and I don't like salmon, so he eats that. a lot and just makes that on his own. We eat tacos. I love to have like a cheeseburger bowl. So I try to eat low carb mostly during the week. So a burger bowl with just lettuce and like all the fixins is really good. I love eggs. I'll eat eggs for dinner. I make salads for myself like 3 times a week, and then we eat out on the weekends usually, or you know, like Friday nights and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not making crazy dinners, neither is Pete. We do what's easy for our family. Like chicken parm is always a great one because we'll all eat it. Like the kids will eat it too. Okay, so next one. There was one about toddler meal ideas. Like, you're asking the wrong girl. I'm sorry. I get a lot of questions about tips on working from home with your child at home. And a lot of my content, especially within the last year, is not with my kids at home because both of my kids are at daycare, but I did keep Quinn home. I kept both of my kids home for the first year. With Chase, we had a nanny, so I was able to, me and Pete were both working from home. We had a nanny come in for about 6 hours out of the day to watch Chase while we worked, and that worked out really well. But then he turned 1, and I just kind of was like, he needs social interaction, and he's a very busy kid, and I would just find that they, you know, him and the nanny were like watching a lot of TV and not really doing activities like learning things. So we sent Chase to daycare at 1. Quinn stayed home with us for her entire first year. We did not have a nanny. So me and Pete were both working from home at the time, and when she was little, it was easier because she was sleeping a lot during the day and she wasn't mobile. But as soon as she got to like the point where she was scooching around and what's the word? Like cruising and moving around, crawling and getting into things, it became really difficult. And then she started to be a lot more vocal, not in like the talking sense, but like squealing and like having a lot of reactions. So I would literally have to like juggle, me and Pete would juggle. So if I had meetings, and I have a lot more meetings than Pete did, his job was a lot more transactional at the time. So he was just like on the phone, off the phone, like sending email real quick, could do stuff on the side. So he was really helpful. But I was having a lot of meetings, so Pete would have to watch her during those times. And she would sometimes just sit in like the bouncer or whatever and, you know, kick around. I had a little mat with her, like, you know, if you lay on the back, there's like the little mobile thing that comes down with the toys, and she could play with them. So I would literally just like leave toys on this little mat, and she would be behind me, and I would like be working and have to help play with her. It was very, very stressful. And then during meetings, like Pete would take her. It was a very, very stressful situation. I felt like I was out of control. I felt like I was failing as a mom. I wasn't, you know, up to my top game working. And then I felt like a bad mom because I wasn't giving her my attention. I was like trying to multitask, and it didn't work out for us. So when she turned 1, we sent her to daycare too. And I didn't realize what a burden it was having her home. And I'm not calling her a burden, but I mean like a burden mentally, physically, emotionally on me, feeling like I had to split my time between my child and working, like, and keeping it all afloat. I didn't realize until she went to daycare how serious it was. So not to discourage any of you who are trying to work at home and who are working at home with your kids, but like, I understand the struggle. It is incredibly hard. There's no playbook on how to work at home with your kid. Like everybody's job is different too. So I don't even have any tips. It's like, just stay above water. That's all I would say. And if you have an opportunity to get childcare or to send your kid to daycare, I would 100% support it personally. It was the best thing that we did for Quinn. She had become very attached to us being at home, and it was a very difficult transition putting her into daycare because she just loves being at home and she loved being with us. So that was really heartbreaking for me too. But now she's happy as a clam. She is learning so much. Like, the social interaction is just amazing, and the stuff that she picks up on is incredible. So I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, next question. Is there a big difference going from 1 to 2 kids? Yes. Yes. Huge difference. Massive difference. Extremely difficult difference. And especially like my kids are 21 months apart. So, they're pretty close in age. So I struggled with postpartum after I had Quinn, and I was in a really dark place for a while. You don't realize how easy it is having one. Cause I remember with just Chase, like me and Pete would talk about, oh, this is so hard. Like we don't get any sleep, like blah, blah, blah. Forget it. When the second one came around, like Quinn, it's just a game changer. I mean, it's like man on man now, 1-to-1. And especially when, Chase was a young toddler, like he wasn't even 2 when Quinn was born. And if you have young kids, like 2-year-olds, that they require a lot, newborns require a lot of time. It was very difficult. I've heard that like going from 2 to 3 is a lot easier. But leading into another question, how do we know that our family was complete? We are not having any more kids. 2 is perfect. We have 1 boy and 1 girl, and like I just feel like I feel like our family is complete. I love the dynamic. I love the relationship between Chase and Quinn. I love like seeing, Pete interacting with Chase and Quinn. Like I just love the dynamic. I love the relationship that we all have. And I feel like I don't need I don't want any more kids. Pete is completely tapped out. He's like, he back in the day didn't even want kids, and we actually broke up way back when, before we were even like engaged or anything, because I wanted kids and he didn't. And I was like, okay, then this isn't gonna work. So we broke up, but then he like came around. So anyway, like having 2, he's like, done, it's enough. So, but power to all of y'all who want more kids and who have more kids. Like, I just think that personally for our family, this is great. Your routine when you're burned out. This is a really good question, and I sometimes don't realize that I'm burnt out until like after the fact. Like I will say January and February of this year had been extremely difficult. I was the busiest at work that I've ever been in my life. We had a lot of stuff going on, just like stresses financially. We had a lot of just like personal commitments, family coming into town, Quinn's birthday, just like a lot was going on, and it was extremely stressful. I was like really motivated to keep doing a lot of YouTube videos, so I put a lot of stress and pressure on myself to do that on top of all of these other stresses, and I just cracked. Like it was the week before my period, and I had like a mental break. Like I took a drive. Like I just woke up so sad one morning, and I was just like mad at Pete. I took it out on him. I was yelling at him, and it just came from like, I don't know, all of the pressures and stress. I was burnt out, and like you take it out on the people that you love the most. So I went for a drive for like 3 hours, and I just cried. I cried and I cried and I cried, and I just like stayed in my room for like almost an entire weekend, and I was miserable. So that's not how you deal with burnout, but that's what I did. But I learned from it, and so now when I'm finding myself being extremely burnt out and overwhelmed, I just stop doing things. So like I stop, if like I won't make a YouTube video that week or something like that to get that off my plate. I won't stress out on getting stuff around the house done. I will take time for myself, and I ask Pete for help. Like I'll just be like, I really need a couple of hours to just go shopping and go out and get my coffee and like wander around Target. Or like I will carve out time to read or meditate. Meditating it's been really helpful to me to kind of stop all the thoughts in my head and to you know, quell some of that anxiety. So I would highly recommend doing that. If you are burnt out, and then just like doing things that you like for yourself, little things that make you happy, to just kind of get you through the hard times. What's the secret behind your discipline? How do you cultivate great habits for you and your family? I don't know if there's a secret. I am a very type A personality, and so I like organization. I'm a little bit OCD about things. I like having everything cleaned up. Like, I'm a very neat and tidy person. I don't like the house to be a mess. Like, it bothers me if toys are out, and if you know me, like, and kids are over at my house, even if they're playing with toys, dumping them out, I am constantly just like putting things back, putting things away, because I can't stand looking at things that are out of order. So just like, I think that's just like a personal, natural thing. And I like a schedule. And I think that really helps, with my kids and my family, is to be on a schedule. Like, my kids know their morning routine. They know their nighttime routine. Things are not chaotic. Everything is like a well-oiled machine, because we do things the same way every single day. I eat the same way every single day. And that's how, I guess, like, we just work as a family. And then I just hold myself accountable a lot, and I try to be as good as I can in anything that I do. Like, I don't want to let people down, and I hold myself to a very high standard. So that's just all like personal stuff that comes with my personality, I guess. But I think there are just small ways. Like, honestly, read this book, Atomic Habits. Like, it was really, really helpful. And it'll show you small ways that you can create good habits or break bad ones. And like, this book was immensely helpful for myself, and like, especially with the waking up early stuff, but it goes for anything in your life. And yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. Oh, I forgot. This wasn't a question that I got when I asked, but I get this question all the time on so many of my videos when I include my workouts, is what is your workout routine? Do you follow a program? And I do not follow a program. I do a lot of strength training, and I follow Heather Robertson and Caroline Gervan, I think is how you pronounce her name, on YouTube. They have, both of them have a ton of different workout programs. So you could go and, you know, follow one of their programs from like start to finish. But I am so scheduled, and I have so many things that I like do, like keeping on track and in a schedule, that I cannot stick to a workout program. So working out is just like fun for me. So I do workouts that I like to do. So I also don't do like an upper body day and a lower body day and an abs. Like, no, I don't have time for that. I have like minimal time to work out in general. So I just go to their page. I actually have a playlist of my favorite workout videos, and I will link my favorite workout videos below, and maybe in all of my videos, because I get this question so much. I just do 20 to 30 minute full body workouts, and I call it a day. I also love kettlebell workouts too. So they both have a bunch of those that I love, and full body, you get the whole, you know, everything gets worked out, and I don't have to think about it. I have my favorite ones. I'll link all of those below so you can see, but I just encourage you, explore their channel, figure out what you like to do. If you like HIIT workouts, like they have a lot of those, a lot of strength training. There's just like tons and tons. I think there's like some yoga and whatever, but like I love my strength workouts. And I used to do the Peloton a lot more than I have now, but I was on the Peloton for a while. I was on like a good kick, but I've kind of like tapered that out. But yeah, it's not complicated. I don't follow a program. I have my favorite workouts that I do, and I do them on a weekly basis. And that's it. that's all I got. So I know this video is so long, and I don't know, I might have to break it up into 2 parts. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your questions. I encourage you to keep putting comments on my videos and asking me questions. I try my hardest to respond to every single comment. And I am so grateful for each and every one of you that take the time to watch my videos. Let me know if you like this video. If you want me to do more Q&As, I am happy to. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it so that I know to create more in the future. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.